Being drafted first overall comes with lofty expectations. But Matthew Schaefer hasn't just met them, he's shattered them. In November 2025, Schaefer made NHL history by becoming the youngest defenseman ever to score a multi-goal game, breaking a Bobby Orr record that stood for more than 50 years. Then he became the youngest player in NHL history to score an overtime winner, breaking Sidney Crosby's record. And if that wasn't enough, he opened his NHL career with a 6-game point streak, the longest by any defenseman in league history. Start a career. He hasn't just arrived, folks. He's stormed onto the scene, doing things teenagers simply don't do in this league. But to understand why he looks this comfortable, this dominant, this fast, we gotta zoom out. It was not a normal draft year. He only played 17 games for Erie, but in those 17 games, he had 7 goals, 15 assists, 22 points, and a ridiculous plus 21. But the same year, he lost his billet mom. Shortly after, he lost his own mother to cancer. 2 devastating losses at 17 in probably the most important season of his life. He lit up the juniors for the games that he played. He even scored 2 goals on his mom's birthday. And then he was injured in the World Junior. In his draft interviews, you would imagine there's a little bit of skepticism of who this player is going to be because they only saw such a small sample size. He was asked what game was his best if someone were to go and watch them, and he mentioned this game against Finland in the World Junior Championships. If you want a perfect example of everything he is, go watch this game. Rush defense, clean retrievals, transitions, offensive activation, deception at the blue line. It's all there. He's a two-way stud defenseman. Now, when you get to the NHL, though, it's a totally different league. And this kid offensively has started pretty strong, and he's made this Islanders team very fun to watch. So I want to take a look at why. His first step gives him that instant separation. Constantly attacking space, turning gaps into opportunities. His skating allows him to do so much because he's positionless in the offensive zone. He's like Makar in that way. Here's a play where he's killing a penalty. His positioning is really what stands out. Blocks the shot, and then he wins the battle. Ends up getting the puck, rifles it down the other end of the ice. Then there's the offensive side of his game, where you can see him at the left point here, head up, finds the seam pass to Gavin McKenna, and they score. But he has the entire package. One of the most important skills to be a defenseman is your ability to transport the puck from your D zone to your offensive zone. The best defense is a good offense. That's this new modern defenseman kind of strategy where they might not be the biggest guy like Zdeno Chara or just the most physical, but overall they're just incredibly hard to beat, and then their strategy is just to keep the puck. With Schaefer, I feel like he's different though, because I see a lot out of him that reminds me of certain guys like Duncan Keith, or definitely a lot of shades of Makar and Doughty. But again, there's this offensive side to him where he's in that class of this modern defenseman just because of the way he plays. So in my opinion, he's really the face of this new wave, and it's because he has everything. Now, his skating is elite. He can go from one end of the ice to the other so quickly. Now, in talking about his defensive side of the game, to be blunt, I expected defensive shortcomings. Most 18-year-olds, high offense defensemen, they're going to have shortcomings in that category. But the more you watch him, the more you realize he doesn't have many. He eliminates plays with his skating and with his stick. He forces forwards to the outside, denies middle ice, makes the inside lane a war zone. But here's the thing is, he's very aggressive. Like, his gap control is very tight. And a lot of times he'll stagger and be 2 or 3 feet in front of where his partner is, where most of the time 2 defensemen are lining up in a similar alignment. He can burn you, and if he makes a mistake, he can catch up with you because he's an elite skater. I've seen multiple examples of him forcing guys to go off sides because of this, because he can afford to be a foot ahead because he's that good of a skater in any direction. And to tie these two in, I call it breakouts and break-ins. And it goes in with skating, of course, but it also plays into defensive aspects of the game because He carries the puck from one end of the ice to the other. Sometimes it's a pass and move, give and go, but he gets the puck out of his end and into the other team's zone. This is the most important skill defensemen can have, along with being able to shut down the best players. And you can see his offensive skill plays a role in it with these give and goes with Matt Barzal. Players just look for him to give him the puck and he just goes. He's also got this Quinn Hughes, McCarr level of skating where he'll be going back for a puck and he will burn guys who are forechecking him. And he just sees the game so well. Again, a huge part of that is his head's up. He doesn't have to pick his head up and then decide. He's scanning the ice as he's receiving it. He's below the net, then he comes back up to the point. He's walking the blue line, he changes direction, low shot through. And a lot of these are just random stuff. He's only played, under 30 games. So his offensive game, he's a game breaker. Offensively, the game just flows through him. And he's also just laterally, he can walk the blue line. He's doing stuff that guys wouldn't do in a beer league. His head's up all the time. He doesn't know what color the puck is. He jumps. Like, he'll make a defensive play and steal a puck and he'll touch it to his teammate and then he's gone. Gazelle-like in the fact that it's a good luck catching him. He has this give and go style of play where it's pass, move, and he looks like a fourth forward out there a lot of the times. He's scanning the ice, he's reading the layers, he's seeing plays, and he's able to make decisions so quickly because his head is always up. It's just fun to watch. I mean, this team in New York has been called boring for so long, but if you watch the way he's just circling the ice like a Komodo dragon, I mean, look at this spin at the blue line. How are you? So much offense, but he's also 6'2", and he's not married to the blue line. Like, he's not afraid to do a spin move, walk down in front of the net. He's not afraid to deke at the blue line in general, which is just something, again, guys in beer league are terrified of it. He's 6'2", so he's got a long stick. He knows how to use it. Pause. But he does, and he's just really talented all around the puck. But I really do think he's going to be one of the elite defensemen in this league, one of the top 5. What a keep in there for 15, 20 years, and he's going to really make that team on the island competitive. And you need guys like that, right? Like, you can fight, scrap, and claw like a team like Minnesota has for the last 15 years, but when they bring in Quinn Hughes, it's because he's a game changer. And so is Matthew Schaefer. So we'll see. But if you like this video, just subscribe to the channel. Let me know that you enjoyed it. Also, if you are a parent of a young hockey player, I'm running a skill development camp. Situational skills. I'm in Massachusetts, kind of Rhode Island area. If you're interested, we also have gross hockey hats.